This is the dawn of a new way to live and perceive how we understand currency, foundation of our ideas of what money and materialism is. We are going to enter this really magnificent time where the old concepts, the ways of the age of Pisces, are transforming our energies into a way we can't even understand. Just like this butterfly doesn't understand, or when it was a caterpillar, it had no freaking idea it was going to be a butterfly. That's how drastic this shift is going to be. We are planting the seeds. The seeds have been planted. There's 3 aces in this reading, and it's about the collective understanding of career and finance. So this is a message for career and finance for everyone collectively. And I'm an Aquarius and I go big, and I'm telling you what's happening is our perception of coins, money, dinero, as in how we spend it and what we spend it on. That's concept, literally the foundational concept of what we perceive as grounding, footings, security is not going to be the same very soon. I'm getting an energy of very soon, like much sooner than we expect. It's like the little caterpillar going on its journey, eating, getting fat, trying to get ready for the cocoon, but it doesn't even know why. Like, it doesn't know what it's doing, but it knows it's getting ready. And it goes into its hermit mode, which the hermit came out over here, totally different reason, but it's going into the cave to transform into this butterfly. And the butterfly with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm seeing how we are going to, it's like electronic and cryptocurrencies and money exchange of goods is changing. Like, we can't see it yet because we're still caught up in the tipping point. It's like we've been skating along here thinking, oh, my money's safe, my house is secure, the housing market, the economy in general, all this money the government's giving out, we're all going to be okay. It's like we've been telling ourselves it's all going to be okay because we have cash somewhere, we have bank accounts, and we have money sitting around, so we feel okay. But what Spirit is saying is this is the problem. This is the issue that we're facing, is we think it's okay, but we're about to be surprised because there's going to be a huge shift, and our monies, our coins, our perception of finance is absolutely going to change to a degree and magnitude which we can't perceive yet. And this is not a bad thing. It's just a thing to be prepared. And people are going to be prepared in different ways. If you are so caught up in the materialism and the luxury of the world, that is an illusion. It's going to be very difficult for you to shift your perspective. And I can literally see people, I can see different kinds of groups of people. There's going to be the groups of people that are so caught up in the materialism that they're not even going to hear this message because they don't exist in this frequency. But the frequency of individuals who hear this message or are preparing because they can sense it coming, that's the thing, is our bodies, everything is changing. Every perception we have of security grounding in the material world, it's a new dawn. It's literally like the sun is rising on a new age. And obviously this age we know it as the age of Aquarius. So it's like we're taking flight. We're exiting the cocoon. We're just now, maybe I don't know how long caterpillars stay in cocoons, but let's say it's 2/3 of the way done with what it's doing in there. And we're about to really open our eyes to this new perception of reality. And it's going to be absolutely beautiful because You know, the unknown is scary. The dark is scary. You know, we don't feel comfortable alone in the dark. But if we could acknowledge that the unknown is mysterious and exciting, like if we could see the exciting part of it, like the new, like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so cool. Like, I'm open to this new way. Let's see where it takes me. Just like the wind, right? The age of Aquarius is air, right? Air signs, it's the wind, it's the flow of where's the wind going to take me, like the birds and all the bugs on a windy day. Like, they may want to go over there, but the wind may take them over there. You know what I'm saying? And they just go with it. They're like, well, the wind is taking me there today. That's kind of how we're going to have to go into this. And those that choose not to are going to, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to navigate through the new energies. And here, beautiful, 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 another ace. Literally, I got 3 aces here. I'm so freaking psyched. 3 aces and then a major arcana. So, and a major arcana just so happened to be some really deep stuff over there. So I'm really excited to get over there. But, so I have the Ace of Swords with the Frog Spirit. And this is where we're going next, right? This is where we're going next, which is, I see an explosion of the mind, because also Aquarius is the age of technology. It's I see technology and time speeding up. This is the thing about time. One, we get it. It doesn't exist, right? But the issue is so many people are still living on the clock concept of reality, or of the way they created the matrix system. But I see here, time is literally speeding up each generation. This is why the elderly seem slow, or they can't, figure out the devices. But 2-year-olds are like, da, 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 da. Okay? Each generation is expected to, I want to say proceed, but I don't know if that's the right word. They're expected to do better, do better with what they're given. Like, I imagine my children's generation doing a better job than us. That should be the way that we progress, because that's also another thing. We're progressing. And I see literally this explosion of the mind. The concepts of how we see and perceive, because seeing with our eyes is just observing our physical reality, which just so happened to be underneath this card. Deep knowing is next. So being the observer from a distance, observing and not reacting. So not being so physical, but being more mental, the mind space. That's a very important part of what's coming in, because the frog has to be extremely adaptive to its surroundings. Starts off as a tadpole, similar to the caterpillar, right? And then it turns into this frog thing. And what I see is the frog, I had a frog in my throat, see what I'm saying? Okay, so what I'm seeing is, so the rain, we need to nourish and replenish a part of our psyche, our minds, our thinking space. We need to rejuvenate it. It's almost like we need to go to, this is not literal, but imagine like going to a spa and just getting like all this feel good stuff and then coming out like a new person. Like maybe you got your hair done, you got a facial, you got all types of stuff. And you're coming out with these new concepts, these new ideas, and being able to jump on board, like the train. So imagine you went to the spa and then the train's coming, like to pick everyone up. And you're like, crap, I might not make this train that's about to take me where I'm supposed to go. And then you're jumping on that train to take you. Because that's how fast things are going to progress. That we're going to move faster. Wind doesn't wait for nobody. And the element of air is light and free and flowing, just like water, except for water is it's just a different element. Yet the frog exists in both. So you're going to be able to we're going to have to be able to emotionally adapt while also adapting our minds and how we perceive. Because the Ace of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords is like being able to quickly move past the old paradigms, the old... this makes me think so much of Minecraft. This card. She's like digital almost. And these blocks are like representing a foundation. And it's like we're building a new digital reality. And a lot of people get scared of that digital world. I was one of them for sure. And I think if we can perceive it as beautiful instead of, and helpful instead of as like demonizing it, like for example, being scared of robots, being scared of, robots taking our jobs, let's say. Maybe it could be quite helpful to have a society full of inventions and things that help us, not to cripple us, not to make us lazy, but to maneuver us in a new space and time that we just don't perceive yet, because we're really material. We're so physical and we need so many things accumulated. It's ridiculous. We don't need all this stuff. It's too much stuff. I have too much stuff. This is just too much stuff. We don't value what we have anymore. I always, picture little children 100 years ago versus now on, let's say, Christmas morning or whatever, birthday, and they get their present, their gift, or it makes me think of Pinocchio. I don't know if he got a present or something, but imagine getting your gift, and it's like how much you value your gift 100 years ago. Like that was your toy. Like you and that toy went everywhere together. Went outside, y'all got dirty, you did everything, and you valued that toy. You didn't think, when do I get the next toy? And there's a blessing and a curse in that, because we're on the precipice, the turning point, okay? The wheel is turning. And we see that as, oh, well, kids are just, they want everything. We're just like labeling these children, not realizing they're born in a time when things are moving faster. They're ready for the next thing. They're not trying to stay in the past like we're used to. They're ready to go. They got things to do. Like, they got worlds to build. Really, Minecraft, okay? They got their virtual reality to build. So they're not focused on so much accumulation of things and the material, like how they look and stuff, which is another beautiful thing about societies that don't have really fancy cars and all these different colors and, ridiculous amount of inventory of stuff we don't actually need. They all get the same car, so nobody fights. That's actually pretty cool. Like, I could be so down in a society where we all just drove the same car. Like, maybe there could be different sizes, but we don't have to have so much. That makes the separation, remember? Because everything is separated right now, and we're trying to bring it back to a place of balance. And that's what the new generations are aiming to do. So each generation is aiming to find some sort of balance. And if you can see on here, as this is spiraling, it's like we started here and we're heading to the center where this light is. So it's like representing the new generations, whichever generation is that light bearer, that they're going to shine that light on society, that illumination, which is like the Illuminati, dude. It's like illuminating. That's exactly what that is. There's going to be a generation that illuminates the truth, I see the astral world and the physical world, like being able to travel, just like we want to go travel the physical world. We want to see all these material places. It's like we're going to want to travel astral. We're going to want to do virtual travel as well. There's going to be some sort of different type of travel. So I can see that coming in. And again, so we're going to have to adapt. That's a really, really important next step for us, is being able to adapt to our new environment. Because the more we resist, the more we push it away, we don't allow it, we don't embrace it to come in, And that's a big problem because we're resisting positive changes. It's like the caterpillar doesn't resist becoming a butterfly. It just goes with the flow. That's kind of what we need to do here, is go with the flow. Oh, this is so beautiful. This energy right here is really, really deep and very, very powerful. This is our focus. This is our advice straight from the cosmos, from source God energy. However you perceive, it's coming straight to me as like, whew, power. Like deep, deep power, okay? It's almost like there's this line in the Bible. It says, the meek will inherit the earth, which basically means the humble, true, authentic humans that can take the proper precautions and advice of the world to navigate the material world by the end, which is multidimensional. But let's say the end of this. The ones that can navigate this, which is the internal world, because we already get there's a physical reality. We're quite aware that there's a landmass and oceans and sky. We're quite aware. But we are so behind on perceiving our internal realities, which that's the virtual world, that's the air element. How many people actually understand the air element? I've had such a difficult time my entire life. I'm air. My sun sign is air. My moon sign is water. And it's like my moon is Scorpio, and that's really deep water. So it's like, and my air is Aquarius, which is really high sky. So it's like, oh my gosh, like the two extremes, right? Well, the depth of this card is like my comfort zone, because it's like really, really deep and dark, but without fearing the darkness, we can see that this is a positive darkness. The whale. So the whale here is ancient wisdom. This makes me think of like the Akashic records, the Mayans, the Aztecs, I know I'm like rubbing my head. The ancient Egyptians, kind of that knowledge they had, where you see how like the hermit here is just in a robe and on a mountain, not with the materials, not with nothing. It's just chilling, just like the whale. They didn't need stuff. They needed what's within. And the whale can navigate this mysterious realm that we're so foreign to and we're so like resistant to. The advice here is to understand the ancient knowledge and wisdom that is trying to come through quickly as well, because these new beginnings, these aces, all this swift energy. Oh, I totally forgot about this. So I'm going to come back to that. Over here on the materialism, on the advice. Hold on, let me make sure it's still recording. Okay, so over there on the materialism, of course, materialism, because this is all that glitters ain't gold. This is exactly time to take the masks off. It's time. It's time to quit fronting. It's time to quit playing pretend that everything's okay. That our debt that's piling up, I see debt just stacking. This is all debt. All this gold is debt. And the masks, it's time to take off the masks and realize debt is an illusion. We're owing money to an entity that is ridiculously manipulative and is supposed to be ran by us. It's supposed to be for the people, by the people. But instead, it's not. It's kind of benefiting. It benefits those at the top because they kind of rule everything. So it's time to take these masks off. That's what I'm seeing here. It's time to listen to the higher guidance that's trying to seep through, that's trying to come through on frequency bands that do not exist in those denser, heavy material reality parts. That makes sense. It's like down here, imagine like a frequency tornado. And I kind of see that all that glitters, it's like we're so focused down here. Ooh, look at all this glittery gold. But we're not looking up at like, oh my gosh, all that stuff's up there. because we're so focused on that material realm. And then we get this no place like home card, which is that within and being adaptive, that frog spirit, being able to be adaptive. This is our home space. This is within is our home space. That, you see how dark it is around the card? And we fear the darkness. We fear the unknown. We fear the depths. We just want to be very surface level. We don't want to understand the deep dark. We're interested. Like, we like psychology as a people. We're interested in the mind. We have that curiosity, but how many people dive deep into their own psyche and really find their light? Like, if you can see, this is a mind space. No place like home. It's all dark. It's like you got to navigate through the darkness. This is just like the moon card almost. Because home is this beautiful little light. It's like almost like a light tower. Which is nothing, this card has nothing to do with that. But for some reason, that's what's coming through right there. And that's what I see. And look at the moon in the background. See the moon? It's like that spiral, just like this. We got the spiral twice. If you can see right here, that double spiral, which is bringing in that new energy, that understanding of the beyond, which is also that whale. Because the whale is being able to imagine space and time beyond the physical. That whale, the frequency the whale lives on, because you have to understand space and time are multidimensional. So the frequency, the reality that this whale perceives is vastly different than the reality we're perceiving, right? And how I'm seeing that come through. They're so loud. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're loud outside. The reality, you can't even imagine it. You can't even imagine it. We can't even, that is so intriguing to me. I'm so enticed. I'm so seduced by this information because it's telling me I can't even imagine it. And for me, that's like, oh, what? Okay, like, let's try though. I want to try to imagine it because it seems so amazing. We don't get it yet though. Like this light. Oh, do you see the light? I don't know if you see the light, but the light, it's like trying to, it's coming through. It's coming through so subtly because everything happens slowly in nature. It's how we design, is how we're designed. We also have the Ace of Wands here with the world. And remember I said I sense that fast energy coming through. Fast energy. It's coming in. It's going to hit people quicker than they think. And it's like a time for planning. I feel like a creative spark, a planning. How are you going to react? What is your ideas and how are you going to tangibly create something based on how you perceive this new information and in the cycle and complete and in the old way of thinking? How are you going to turn that off? How are you going to, even these symbols are making me see that virtual world where this has something to do, we're going to understand these, these symbols that we all love so deeply, like this one here. You see the flower of life there, and all the other ones, they're all right here, literally on the two bottom cards, like the four corners and then there. Those are going to make a lot more sense to us in the coming years and decades. We're going to really start to perceive, and even this mandala here, I see it as planting a seed of that knowledge. Like this mandala is like, see, it's coming. Look, you're planting that seed in the mind. So that's coming through. But the time that's coming is going to be amazing. Get prepared. The most important thing about this is being prepared. How can you prepare today yourself for this new type of energy that's coming through fast? It's coming in fast. It's going to be technological. It's going to be about progress in the space of the mind, the imagination, creation, the unimaginable. Can you imagine the unimaginable? That's what it is. That's what it is. Can you imagine the unimaginable? That's absolutely what this means. Can you imagine how this whale perceives this knowledge? Does it understand? What does it feel like to just be at peace and swim your whole life in the way that a whale does? Not really any predators, nobody to bother. It's kind of just this ancient, wise creature that just is majestic and awesome. It makes me feel like it's in another dimension. And it is. I don't feel that. I know that. It's like in another dimension. And being able to perceive the illusions through the illusions. Through the illusions. Okay. So I'm going to read... because this is the energy that we have working for us, but we don't see it. And I'm just going to read it directly from the book because my imagination can take cards to places that sometimes I don't know if they want to actually go there. So I'm going to do a direct, like this is exactly what the card means, and then I'll interpret my own a little bit too. It's just what I do. Okay, so the snake. Look at that. Powerful card. This is working for us. See? Guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. See? What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. See? The energy's coming in fast. There's no more time to waste. It's a new beginning of an unimaginable time. Can you imagine the unimaginable? That's what this card is saying. We are awakening a sleeping giant of unimaginable realities. Like, I'm freaking out. I gotta stop this reading because I'm just like losing my mind over here. But that's exactly what's happening. Unimaginable potential. Look at the power of this energy. Look at the power of this. Can you see it? This is power. This is electric, magnified. I don't even have words. I have feelings. And it's going to be great. So allow it in. Allow it in. Embrace it. And plan. Make strategy. Create a strategy to get there. So that's what I have. Thank you so much for watching. I got way too excited on that. And I really, really appreciate it. So please like this video. Oh, I have a channel where I talk about a lot of spiritual stuff, or I guess kind of deep stuff without tarot cards. And it's called Jasmine's Universe, and it's down in the description. So totally click on that and subscribe to that platform. It won't involve tarot. I did do tarot, and I guess I shouldn't blend those two. So go over there, and I got some really deep videos on some really deep stuff. It's where I go. It's my comfort zone. So let me take you there. And thank you for watching this reading. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, and if you can, comment down below anything you'd like. Thank you. Oh, comment I would love to know your sun, moon, and or rising sign, or whatever signs you want to tell me. So comment that down below, and I thank you. I really appreciate it. Bye.